The Authentic Achievement Revolution: Why Your Story is Your Strategy. I recently had the extraordinary privilege of interviewing Marquisha Williams, a visionary who has dedicated her life to empowering Black women to embrace their authentic selves while achieving remarkable success. Her work isn't just transformative, it's revolutionary. Marquisha has created ripples of change throughout communities, businesses, and institutions by challenging the false dichotomy between authenticity and achievement. She stands as a beacon of hope for countless women who have been told they must choose between being themselves and being successful. Her courage to speak truth to power has opened doors that many thought would remain forever closed. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt that creeping sensation that you needed to be someone else to belong there? That subtle pressure to code switch, to downplay your experiences, to smooth your edges until you fit neatly into someone else's definition of professional. You're not alone. And more importantly, you're not wrong for feeling that tension. For generations, we've been fed a dangerous myth that success requires us to compartmentalize our authentic selves from our professional selves, that our lived experiences, especially the messy, complicated, beautiful experiences of being Black women in America, are somehow liabilities rather than assets in our pursuit of excellence. But what if everything we've been told about success is backwards? What if the very parts of ourselves we've been taught to hide are actually our greatest competitive advantages? This is the radical truth that emerged from my conversation with Marquisha Williams. The authenticity revolution isn't just about feeling good, it's about achieving more by bringing your whole self to everything you do. Let me share a story that illustrates this perfectly. Jamal, a brilliant Black entrepreneur, had created a groundbreaking tech product. His business plan was meticulously crafted. His market research was impeccable. His pitch was polished to perfection. By all conventional metrics, he should have been swimming in investment capital. Instead, he faced rejection. Not once, not twice, 17 times. 17 investors looked at his brilliance and said, "Not for us." The 17 doors slammed in his face. 17 opportunities to believe the lie that he didn't belong in the entrepreneurial ecosystem. Now, conventional wisdom would suggest that Jamal needed to change himself to become more palatable to these investors, perhaps speak differently, dress differently, present differently, essentially to be less authentically himself. But Jamal's story takes a different turn. What changed wasn't his identity, it was his community. After connecting with a program specifically designed for Black professionals, he found mentors who didn't ask him to be someone else. They saw his authentic self as an asset, not a liability. They helped refine his pitch without diluting his vision. They opened doors without asking him to leave parts of himself behind. Today, Jamal's company employs 28 people and has expanded internationally. He's become a model for over 500 Black entrepreneurs supported through similar programs. His success isn't despite his authentic identity, it's because he found a way to leverage it strategically. As Marquisha Williams emphasized in our interview, you don't have to choose between authenticity and achievement. Your lived experience with all its ups and downs isn't something to overcome. It's your greatest asset as a leader, entrepreneur, or professional. But let's be honest, this path isn't easy. The journey to authentic achievement is rarely straight, and it is never without obstacles. Consider Georgia's story. By age 25, Georgia had experienced the kind of loss that reshapes a life. Both her parents were gone. At 31, another blow, job loss, followed by financial crisis that nearly led to bankruptcy. These aren't just setbacks, they're the kind of life altering experiences that can make you question everything about yourself and your place in the world. Society told Georgia what it tells so many of us: hustle harder, get more credentials, perfect your resume, minimize your struggles, act like everything is fine, even when it isn't. But Georgia made a different choice, a choice that Marquisha Williams would describe as revolutionary. She gave herself permission to process her trauma publicly through storytelling. Initially, this wasn't a branding strategy, it was simply healing, but something remarkable happened when Georgia began sharing her journey authentically. She discovered that her hard won wisdom from grief and recovery wasn't just personally meaningful, it was professionally valuable. The lessons she'd learned through her darkest moments were precisely what others needed to navigate their own challenges. She began offering coaching based on these experiences, developing digital products aligned with authentic experiences rather than theoretical frameworks. The result? A thriving platform rooted in realness instead of resume building alone. Georgia created new revenue streams through digital offerings grounded in personal truth rather than external validation, inspiring countless other women facing similar crossroads. This is what Marquisha Williams means when she says imposter syndrome and setbacks are part of the journey, not signs you don't belong. Even when your voice shakes or you feel out of place, showing up as yourself is powerful, not just emotionally powerful, strategically powerful. I can almost hear what some of you are thinking right now. That sounds nice, but is it realistic? In a world that still has systemic barriers, can authenticity really compete with privilege? It's a fair question. And it brings me to another powerful story, that of Katira, Poland. Katira faced the systemic barriers that confront many Black women entrepreneurs: limited access to capital, scarce mentorship, and networks that weren't designed with her in mind. She navigated persistent imposter syndrome while lacking the resources typical for startup founders. What made the difference for Katira? She leveraged storytelling platforms like the Pink Parachute Diaries podcast, both for visibility and connection, building safe spaces where vulnerability was normalized alongside ambition. This approach enabled hundreds of listeners and followers to find actionable advice tailored specifically to where their unique journeys as ambitious Black women balancing legacy building ambitions with everyday realities. Katira's work is rooted in creating opportunities she once needed herself, a testament that you don't have to wait until it looks perfect. She grew her audience reach via podcasts and online content while mentoring dozens directly through workshops and events, helping shift industry norms around what leadership looks like among underrepresented founders. This brings us to Marquisha Williams' third key insight: faith, community, and self belief are non negotiables for sustainable success. You don't have to walk this path alone. Building with others who see and support you makes all the difference. Notice the pattern across these stories. None of these individuals succeeded by conforming to traditional expectations. They didn't win by playing someone else's game. They created new games, games that valued their unique perspectives and experiences. This is the revolution that Marquisha Williams is championing. It's not just about individual success, it's about transforming our collective understanding of what success looks like and how it's achieved. But revolutions don't happen overnight, and they don't happen without intention. So, what does this mean for you right now, wherever you are in your journey? First, recognize that the pressure to compartmentalize isn't coming from within you. It's coming from systems that weren't designed with you in mind. That feeling that you need to be someone else to succeed isn't your intuition, it's internalized oppression. Second, start small, but start now. You don't need to share your entire life story on LinkedIn tomorrow, but perhaps there's one aspect of your authentic experience that you've been hiding that could actually inform your work in meaningful ways. What would it look like to bring that forward, even in a small way? Third, find your community. As all three of our stories demonstrate, transformation happens in relationship. Who are the people who see your authentic self as an asset? Who celebrates rather than tolerates your whole identity? These are your people. Find them, keep them close, and be that person for others. The beautiful paradox at the heart of authentic achievement is this: when we stop trying to fit ourselves into existing structures and instead bring our whole selves to creating new ones, we don't just succeed individually, we expand the possibility of success for everyone who comes after us. As Marquisha Williams so powerfully articulated, your voice matters now, not just once you've arrived. Perfection isn't required before power can be claimed. I want to leave you with this. We stand at a crossroads in history. The old models of success that demanded conformity, that asked us to leave parts of ourselves at the door, are crumbling. They are being replaced by something more human, more whole, more powerful. You, yes, you have a choice to make. Will you continue to play by rules that were never written with you in mind? Or will you have the courage to bring your full, authentic self to everything you do, knowing that your story isn't just something that happened to you? It's a strategic asset that no one else possesses. The world doesn't need more people who fit perfectly into broken systems. It needs people brave enough to show up authentically and create new systems. Systems where achievement doesn't come at the cost of authenticity, but because of it. Your story isn't a liability, it's your strategy. Your differences aren't weaknesses, they're your superpowers. Your voice, exactly as it is, isn't just nice to have, it's necessary for the transformation our world so desperately needs. So I challenge you, give yourself permission today to show up fully as yourself wherever you lead or build next. Share one piece of your story, even if it feels unfinished, within your network this week. You never know whose breakthrough will begin because they saw yours first. The authentic achievement revolution is here. And it starts with you showing up exactly as you are, ready to build something extraordinary. Not tomorrow, not when you feel more ready, not when the world says you're allowed. Now, because the truth is, we've been ready all along.